honestly, as a demigod, I'd start cursing people too. You never know when it might happen. Hello again, friends. Here are my thoughts for House of Hades. Again, full discretion. I finished this book in October. It's like January 2nd or 3rd today. So, sorry about that. But I still wanted to give you my thoughts. The main thing I can remember off the top of my head is Calypso cursing Annabeth. That was crazy. And I think I already made a video about that, but it still needs to be said again. That is one of the craziest things that happened in here. The other people cursing Annabeth, I get it. If I was a monster, yeah, I'm cursing you. Now, if I was a monster, I think I would have thought the curse never would have gone through, because who would have known my biggest op would fall into Tartarus? Who would have known? But lucky for me, it did. If I was a monster. As a human, honestly, as a demigod, I'd start cursing people too. You never know when it might happen. But Calypso doing that was crazy. All over a man. He's not even a man. A boy. A 15, 16-year-old boy. I think he was 15. He might have been 14. A boy who left you. He did try to get your freedom, but he didn't even follow through with it. A boy. I know there was way better suitors for you that came to that island. I'm not saying Percy's not the shit. I'm just saying. Calypso had a lot of men come to her island. I'm assuming she did. Nobody else was better for you than Percy. I don't believe that, Calypso. I highlighted something about Hazel thinking that Leo looked just like Sammy, which obviously he did. I wanted more tension. I wanted more mess in that love triangle, but that sadly didn't happen. I didn't really like Hecate. The scenes she was in just wasn't doing it for me. She irritated me. I know she irritated me because reading this now irritated me when they're asking who they're supposed to face, and she's like, I won't speak her name. Then how am I supposed to know how to defeat this person if you don't tell me who they are? I'm so tired of the mystery. I'm telling you, if I was a demigod, I would refuse to help them if they didn't give me the information I wanted. I guess the world's falling apart. I'm not doing this. Oh, the fact that Annabeth lost Daedalus's laptop was crazy. And she lost her dagger too. I kept hoping for them to come back. And I kept hoping. And the series is over. And I'm still hoping. Like, that's crazy. There needs to be some type of magic to make it come back. I'm hoping in the 3rd series we'll hear about it coming back, because that's sad. In one of Leo's chapters, he said Jason flew in like Peter Pan. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but if it's not a superhero flying, it just looks weird. So I'm just imagining like a small 16-year-old boy flying like Peter Pan. Okay, yeah, so Annabeth was already blind, and then Calypso cursed her to make her feel like Percy always was gone and left her. Can you imagine being in Tartarus with only one other person, and you're blind, and the one other person you're with, you can't see them. Every time they come near you, it's like they're gone, and you genuinely think they're gone? Oh, Calypso would have never been forgiven. She would have at least had a slap coming, at the very least. I never would have forgiven her. I am not a forgiver or a forgetter. Calypso, she literally wouldn't be allowed in my home. I'd be like, no, she can't even come in Camp Half-Blood. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Leo, I don't care. Honestly, aside from that, I like Calypso. But that, I just can't. I can't. So when I say I like Calypso, it's putting that fact aside. But when you bring that fact in there, I can't respect her. And then Percy says he couldn't even blame Calypso. I can. You can too. She should have cursed you, not her. Annabeth didn't do anything. You guys were even dating at the time. I got to a part where Piper's charm speak finally worked and she woke Jason up. It only ever works for Jason. She got it together later though. This, I could not find this part where Nico's talking to Jason and he's like, and please, I don't like being touched. Don't ever grab me again. That's so me. If we're not dating, don't touch me. It's not necessary. If I am not interested in you, don't touch me. I didn't even hug my mom like that. It's okay. It's really okay. You don't have to touch me. It doesn't feel like I'm being suffocated. It just makes me feel like... It always makes me laugh when they mention that they think Nico had a crush on Annabeth. So close, but not close enough. Okay, I really did not like the scene where that guy was basically outing Nico in front of Jason. Not basically, he was. And I know it's just a book, it's not real. But I don't think people should be forced to come out of the closet. Like, people should be able to do it at their own terms. And it's not like Nico was leading a girl on. Nico was doing his own thing, being alone. Like, I didn't like that scene. Not that it was written badly. I felt very bad for Nico. Like, one, having to say that out loud when you, I'm assuming, haven't ever had to say it out loud. It seemed like Bianca knew, I don't know. But then to say it out loud in front of somebody you're not even close to. He is close to the guy you're interested in. That was sad. That was hard to read. I remember I did get this far the first time I read it when the book came out, and it was hard to read. And it was hard to read this time too. I felt really bad for him. Okay, I'm at the part where Jason and Nico are arguing. Jason basically says that Nico needs to take a risk and accept him as a friend, and that it's better than hiding. And Nico says, hiding? They said Nico's voice was deadly quiet. I don't know why. That made me bust out laughing when I started reading it. And I put in my notes that every time Nico gets mad, I think of Goob from Meet the Robinsons. And I like Nico, but like, I'm just imagining this skinny, pale boy being like, hiding? He's about to lose his shit because of that one word, hiding. There's this one part, Leo's making jokes, and it says Nico glared at Leo and said, we'll see how long you keep your sense of humor. Every time Nico got mad in this book, I started laughing. But in my notes, I said, Nico, maybe you're just not a fun person to be around. And I think that's correct. Now, Nico does seem better in The Blood of Olympus, and from the parts that I read of Trials of Apollo, he does seem better. But in this, Nico, you're a hard read. Tartarus is talking, and he says, you can't kill me. I'm the pit itself. You might as well try to kill the earth. Now, I told you guys I finished the series, so I knew what happened, but I would have been like, hairspray, shh, pesticide, shh, fire, shh, stuff in the ocean, sorry, Poseidon, litter. I would have been doing everything to kill the earth. Like, we'll recover later, but we gotta kill it. We gotta get her out. That wouldn't have been the best route, but that would have been my only idea. Nobody else had any other plans besides the person who had the plan, which I won't spoil for you guys. Pacifi's story in here, that story's gross, but her in here is what made me do that Pacifi skit, because it's an interesting story. That led to a lot in Greek mythology. Like, so many stories were started because of her and that bull, which wasn't her fault. Women are always just getting punished for things that men do. It's just not right. Pacifi said, so you see, I hate demigods as much as I hate the gods. And in my notes, I said, hating demigods doesn't make any sense. Because it doesn't. The only person you should hate is Poseidon. And your husband, ex-husband. Nobody else did anything to you but them. You need to get your revenge on them. Minos would have been dead if he was my husband. You're not getting away with this. When Pacifi explained to them how the doors of death work with the up button and somebody needs to be on the other side, I was like, why would you tell them that? They didn't know until you said it. You could have just been quiet. I never understand why villains tell people their plans. With Hecate, when she finally decides to help, in my notes, I said, so instead of just helping the whole time, you were just gonna watch them die and let the world end. Because you didn't think I was worthy of your help and I hadn't proven myself. You were just gonna let the world end? That's why I don't like the gods. Now, I wouldn't have been on Luke's side, but I would say, I guess, Percy's side, because Percy doesn't really like them like that either. They get on his nerves too. Because you're always asking me to do something for you, but the second I need help, not just for me, but for the whole world, you have to prove yourself as worthy. You want the world to end? No? Then help me. Because if the world ends, you'll be nothing just like me. They get on my nerves. But overall, from what I remember, I really did like this book. I think my favorite in the series, though, would have to be Mark of Athena. Now, that was a really good book, but this one was good too. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. Bye!